What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends series ROM Spaceknight. I know I said I wasn't going to buy any more figures in this wave after I was looking at Dakin, but I was at Walmart earlier and I saw this and thought it actually looked kind of cool. I hadn't seen a package with it in person yet, but when I saw it, I thought it looked kind of cool, and I thought it looked good because it was actually silver. But we'll get more into my complaint about silver here in just a little bit. But let's take a look at this little package real quick. Same as Dakin, nice big window on the front, kind of retro style, with the other 5 figures in this wave on the back. It says some shit about ROM right there if you want to pause it and read it. But anyways, that's enough about this package. Let's get him out of the package and take a closer look at him. All right, out of the package. Dude, this figure looks good. Like, this thing isn't just like that silver plastic. This thing is painted, and my gosh, it looks good. But before I start gushing all over this thing, let's see how big he is really quick. It's kind of a big figure. He is right at 7 inches tall, maybe a 7 16 inches tall, which would make the whole figure 18 centimeters. Whoops, smacked the camera with it. And I think that's cool, I guess. I don't know anything about this figure, like literally know nothing about him other than the fact that he obviously exists because there is a Marvel Legends figure of him. Let's do some comparisons really quick. I'm going to do things a little bit out of order. Let's compare him next to Dakin, another figure from this wave, and he is significantly taller, and being a version of Wolverine, you know, he's Wolverine's son or whatever, I'd say that works. And let's put him next to the Professor X imposter. He had better be taller than him. And he is, so everybody is safe. I would have thrown a fit if he wasn't. So that works for me. Anyway, let's look at his aesthetic, because this thing looks freaking awesome. This thing is actually silver, and it looks really good. It's plain, you know what I mean? I mean, he's like this square robot, and I don't really get his design. I'm kind of getting like 1960s future kind of vibes out of it, but it looks pretty good. There's some paint right here where these little red things, I don't know if these are a second set of eyes or what the hell they are, but that looks all right. Back here by his jet packs, and it almost seems like there's some like shading, like to represent like some jet wash or, you know, jet blast or whatever right there. So that looks pretty good. And when his eyes, I can't tell if this is like a sticker. I don't think that's painted. That might be a sticker or something. They look kind of weird. Look, not digital, but like analog looking or something. But it works well enough. You know, and he's got lots of little lines and stuff that probably could have used like some panel lining or something. But he's really clean. He looks pretty cool. All of his fingers are stuck together. I'm going to assume that holds true to the figure, you know, as far as like the character design or whatever. But and there's these boots or his shoes or feet or whatever it is. But he has a really cool look. Why is he super silver? And this is all new. This has got to be all new sculpt, except for maybe some reuse, like in the arms or maybe the upper legs. This maybe these lower legs too. I don't know. I don't have every Marvel Legend, obviously. But this looks like a lot of new sculpt. This is actually really nice. I like this. I like this a lot. Somebody tell me down, is his hands supposed to be like kind of like all of his fingers are like, it's like they're inside of a mitten or something? Anyway, back to my question about the silver. Why is this one silver? A figure, I never even heard of this character, but 2 figures that are coming out later this year with silver in the name, and they aren't near this silver. And I'm talking about the Silver Samurai with that Wolverine 2-pack, which should actually be called the Gray Plastic Samurai. And then that Fantastic Four, that female Silver Surfer, who looks pretty gray. What's the scoop here? Anyways, let's take a look at his accessories really quick. He don't come with a big bunch. He doesn't come with an alternate head or anything, but this little head kind of looks like an old school, like 1920s microphone head a little bit, but that looks kind of cool. And he comes with 4 hands, got the one gripping hand on him right here in the package, and then an open like handshake kind of hand on him in the package as well. And then extra, he's got another kind of like weapon holding hand right here. Looks good enough, I suppose. And a silver fist hand that looks okay. He also comes with these 2 little, I guess these are guns, like ray guns. They look weird as shit, but kind of cool all at the same time. And he can hold them. I'll stick it into this hand really quick. He can hold them, and this one looks pretty cool. This one has 3 of these little bars, and this one only has 1, so I'm going to represent this one with maybe a higher caliber or something, but they look pretty good. And they come with this really cool little blast effect right here. It's kind of a soft plastic. It's like translucent, but almost looks like a like a gummy or a chewable or something, but you just poured it right on there like that, and that looks cool enough. I wish there were two of them because he has two guns, so they kind of have to take turns or whatever, but that looks pretty cool. And of course, last but not least, with the accessories, he comes with this little comic book. What the hell is the point of these? These make no sense to me whatsoever. What do we need this for? Like, don't get me wrong, that looks really good. Like, that's a good job for this size, for that kind of print like that. That looks really good, but I just feel like this is a waste. What are your all's thoughts? You, the person watching this video, what do you think about these little comic books that are coming with these in this wave? I think it's personally a waste, and they should have just given us some kind of different accessory. But anyways, I'm going to move on. Let's look at his articulation real quick, because there's not a lot to this guy as far as aesthetic or accessories for that matter. But for a $25 Marvel Legends, that spread of accessories isn't too bad, especially the fact that we came with some nice new sculpt here. Here's his head right here, and it'll look down pretty decent, and it'll look up pretty good, and you get a little bit of wiggle around, and that's because his neck moves really good, if you can see the neck itself actually moving. So that moves around pretty good. And I'm not going to pull his head off because I tried a little bit ago, and it's hard to do. But if I'm showing you up in there, he's on that quintessential Marvel Legends like ball hinge. Son of a bitch! And that kind of annoys me, but so that's why he looks up really good and looks down really good, but you can't really tilt his head. But the design of the figure, it's not like he really needs to. His shoulders will come out like 290 and a little bit beyond, and that's pretty darn good. You can get a full rotation. He looks like some little kid who's like dressed up for Halloween as a robot, you know, wearing some big box with aluminum foil on it, so his arms are not coming across him, but that's okay. His bicep swivel looks pretty good. Double jointed elbow actually doesn't look too terrible, and it's pinless and stuff. I wish they all kind of looked as good as this. This doesn't look too bad at all. And the wrist is on a hinge. Now the diaphragm. Interestingly enough, it's kind of the Optimus Prime look here for his torso. I'll show you neutral. Just on that diaphragm break, he will lean forward pretty well. I was actually surprised, and I think there's probably a double ball peg in there because you can get all kinds of wiggle and spin and tilt and all that and twist out of that, but you don't get any back, and I'll show you here in a second more about that. And we also got the upside down ab crunch, and it works pretty good. Not the best look, but he's not exactly a human, so maybe his robot can do that or whatever, but I still don't necessarily like the look of it, but it's hidden a little bit by his jetpack here. And that design right through there, that looks kind of cool. I don't know what that really is. Kind of sucks you can see the inside of the joint, but what are you going to do? But no lean back because of the afterburners from his little jetpack backpack right here. So he's not going to lean back, but I mean, I guess he doesn't really need to, but whatever. And no waist twist, that kind of sucks. But you do get a lot out of this diaphragm break, so I like that joint very well. Hips go out to the sides with no problem. That's pretty good range for a Marvel Legends. It's just that ball peg kind of system up in there. There's really no reason why it can't go out to a split. I'm not mad that it doesn't. I'm mad that there's no reason it shouldn't. Like if there was a physical design that prevented it, that would be one thing, but there isn't, and they still don't. That's what irritates me. Makes a good front kick. They gave him some silver booty cheeks, so no kicking back. That kind of sucks. I hate that they do that. Why do companies do that? Anyways, got a thigh swivel that's hidden nicely by the boot. Got a very nice pinless double jointed knee, great range, great proportion. Surprisingly, he doesn't have a shin swivel, and I'm glad because they look like shit for the most part on figures that have this kind of leg design. Ankle is a hinge, will go all the way down, all the way up, and has a nice rocker on it. Bottoms of the feet have peg holes. I know you all like to see that. And no toe hinge, and there's no love loss for me. So this figure, for what he is, moves pretty darn good. I wish he could lean back. I wish he could do a full split. I wish he wasn't on that ball hinge. I wish he was on like a double ball peg. But, you know, wish in one hand and, you know, shit in the other, see which one fills up first. Anyways, final thoughts on this figure. It's refreshingly good. It is way better than I thought it would be, to be quite honest. Just because glancing at him, he looks like kind of just like a boxy like robot kind of guy. But then I got him out and started handling him. Not only does he look really good in person, because this thing does look very nice. He's covered in paint because he's silver, but there's no shading or anything. But he still looks really good, and he moves pretty good. And he's got a decent spread of accessories for 25 bucks. Not the best on earth, but they're pretty decent. I'm for Marvel Legends. I'm gonna give this figure. I'm gonna go A- for this figure. This is pretty good. Room for improvement for sure. They could do, especially engineering wise, do some other things to make you move a little bit better. Maybe add just a little bit more paint apps. But this isn't a bad figure. This is pretty darn good. If you're a fan of the figure, buy him, of course. Or if you're trying to complete the wave, definitely get him. This is a good figure. I'm definitely not waving you off this one for this Marvel Legend. But anyway, this is all I've got for Mr. ROM here. Subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. And with all that said, this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.